Okay, so it kind of did a thing. Not too long ago, I shared with you all the crafting supplies that I got, and I kind of shared with you that I picked up 2 paints because for at least the very first phases, all I really was going to need was the base paint and the wash that will get us through, the lion's share of our painting, and that, when I got there, I would probably get some additional paints. So I hemmed and hawed. I thought about this backwards and forwards, and I'm kind of a Citadel fanboy. I don't have any real reason to love Citadel over some other company. I've always used Citadel for this, and so that was the plan. I'm gonna get Citadel. But man, those prices. Whew. So anyway, I did this. Yeah. Look at this. This is the Army Painter Wargamers, that's me, Mega Paint Set. That's not me, but look at all these paints. Look at it. Look at it. I will not use like half of these. But my understanding from listening to people who know a lot more than me about Warhammer 40k, which is nearly everybody, the quality is just as good. There's like double the amount of paints per bottle than you'll get in this pot. This pot will dry out, and while I've never used this pot before, the previous pots that were around when I played 40k, they did have a nasty habit of drying out. The other thing is that since I'm going to be using a wet palette, these dropper bottles are going to be way more convenient. I did hear, though, that there's a bit of a propensity for these guys to kind of settle towards the bottom. So they say, hey, you should get some metal balls. You put them in there, and, well, yeah, this mega set comes with it. So there's another set that I almost got that's a little cheaper. So this would cost me something like $140-ish American. I bought it on Amazon, and okay, so I bought it late at night. I was like hemming and hawing. I was like, you know what? I would close my eyes. I hit the buy button. The very next day it was here. The very next day. So, thank you, Amazon, for enabling my purchasing habits. So what do you say we get this open, huh? Get my janky little knife here. We're going to go right here. Let's see here. Very important. You can only eat between 0 and 3 children. Pretty sure that's... I mean, we're good. I find children very gamey. Alright. So let's take a look at this. Oh man, I'm so excited. I've never... I always either borrowed my buddy's paints or I had like a couple here and there. I have never had in my entire life a complete set of paints. I am so excited. Oh, okay. So this is a painting guide. I heard actually good things about this. People were talking about this painting guide, so I might take a look at this before I actually start. Who am I kidding? I'm going to breeze past this, and I'm just going to start globbing paint on some minis. Okay. Nice catalog of hobby products, because this is what I need. I need to buy more stuff. Yay! Thank you. Well, no, Army Painter dudes, thank you. Smashed. Oh, okay. No, you're good. And this has a whole... Wait, this has a full range, 124 war paints. I thought this had more than 124. Let's see. So this says 124 war paints. Actually, let's see if we can get a good shot of that. Okay, it's 124 war paints. This says 60 war paints. Oh, so there's more to go. Okay, I clearly don't know how math works. So apparently this ginormous set doesn't include everything that they make. This describes everything that they make. So now I have to, do that comparison. What did I not buy? And, well, no, I'm not even halfway there. Okay, I'm kind of a completionist. I'm not that much of a completionist. So I had to break into this video because I was all kinds of confused about what was included in the set and what was the full range. I had it all wrong. So I went and did a little bit of research. It turns out the mega set that I have includes 60 paints, and the full range includes 124 paints. So I thought, oh, what am I missing? So I have a couple of graphics here to show you. This very first one is the graphic with the mega paint set that I got, and it has all the paints. So you see kind of the full range there. On this next image, you'll see that the full range includes the 124 bottles that I mentioned. And so what I did is I went ahead and put a little green check mark on those that are included in the mega set, and I left those that are not included blank so you can see what is missing. I don't anticipate going to buy any more of these until I start running out of the ones that I have, but it's good to know that they're there. Back to our regularly scheduled programming. Okay, let's just look at the stuff, shall we? We've got this layer. Okay, so yellow, orange, red, blood. Okay, man, there's just a lot of these colors. So I'm going to put one of these in each of these. I'm going to do that right now, but I'm going to speed through the process because no one wants to sit through me doing that. And I may have to kind of clean this up a little bit, but look at this. I think these are all washes. Yeah, these are the washes. Some metallics. Oh, man, there's just so many paints. I don't know what this is. Grimoire purple, ash gray, matte white. Alright. I'm running out of space for paints. Gloss varnish. Okay. Pixie pink. Green, blue, some more washes. Brush on primer. Okay. Quick shade. I don't know what that is. Maybe it's to thin the paints a little bit because water isn't sufficient. Okay. That. Oh, the flesh shades. Okay. Alright. Dry rust. Desert yellow. Okay. Some blues. Oh, these are all kind of arranged. Okay, good. Some bone colored. It's always good to have some bone color along with black. All right, so that is the paint collection. I am happy you got to open this with me. I am still pretty stoked about this. That was pretty awesome. While this process goes on in the background, I wanted to mention a bit of an observation, I guess. So as you're seeing on the screen here, this wasn't exactly a clean process. So, have some paper towels with you when you do this yourself. But what I wanted to mention was that this this thing, it took a while, but it was a sort of fun I didn't expect. It was weirdly zen. There was this peaceful sense of accomplishment as I did this, and I saw the bottles going from one pile to the other. It was oddly satisfying. I, I can only understand it really in terms of something from my psychology days, goal theory. And the idea is that, for certain tasks, if you see feedback, of your progress, of your accomplishment, it gives you a sense of motivation to continue until a task is complete. It's the sort of feedback that we wish we got at work more often, but we don't usually do. So, it's not something that I would want to do for a living. It is pretty tedious, but I'd be lying if I said that a big part of me didn't enjoy it. So, yeah, if you get the chance to do this, put on some tunes, throw on some YouTube in the background, and knock yourself out. By the time you know it, you're done, and you'll feel pretty good about it. Okay, so that was a little messier than I anticipated, but it could have been a lot worse. There was a couple of paints that you might have noticed I was showing up to the screen. They were bubbling up. It was mostly the metallics that were kind of spewing out. As soon as I removed this little white cap, they just wanted to exude out of the bottle, which is not great. I imagine that they were, I don't know, maybe they were bottled in a colder atmosphere than where I find myself now, and so the pressure differential just wants to do what it wants to do. But it's not that big a deal. I just got a little thing. So all told, it took me 21-ish minutes to put a single metal ball into each one of these 60 dropper bottles of Army Painter paints. And I've already got the first casualty of dropped paint on this cutting board, but hey, that's what this is for. So, look, it was a little tedious, but it wasn't so bad. I'm going to go wash my hands. See y'all later. As is becoming the custom on these videos, I need to add a little bit from what I originally planned. So, these paints are great. I'm having a good time with it, to the limits of my ability, such as it is. And so for a while, these paints lived in the box that they came in. So, this guy. And it was fine. But then I started to use the paints, and going back to this box to pull out the paint that I needed, adding the drop to my wet palette and bringing back the bottle, it got old almost immediately. So I decided I needed to find a better way of storing these so that they were easier to grab and easier to see. I didn't have to pull up every one of those plastic trays that you saw in the video to get what I wanted. So, as is my custom, I started to do a bit of research to find out how do other people who had this big paint collection store their stuff. And a lot of the professional, well, I'm calling them professional, they probably make a little bit of money on YouTube. They probably make money by commission, commission paint jobs or whatever. So these are people that are way better at Warhammer and painting and YouTube and a bunch of other stuff than I am. How do they do it? And so they have these huge racks on their workspace, and they look beautiful, but that's not the workspace I have. I need something that's a bit more temporary that I can store, so it's not in my face the entire time. I am not a fan of clutter. Drives me insane. So what I did find was other people were talking about some other storage methods, and so one of them caught my interest, and I'll show it to you here. It is this guy. This is a storage case. This is actually a storage case for essential oils. There's a couple of companies that make storage containers for essential oils. And so this is what it looks like. There's a couple out there depending on what your needs are. But they're all, they all basically have a similar idea. There's this foam insert, because those those vials of essential oils tend to be glass, and so you want to protect them a little bit. These guys, they're not glass. They don't really need protecting, but this system just happens to fit these bottles perfectly. You couldn't have designed it better if you meant to do it. And so I was able to fit all 60 of them in this container with room to spare, and because it wasn't like a hobby-specific container, it didn't cost me like $80. This was probably something along the range of $15 to $20 on Amazon, and so there's a bunch of different ones. They all, they have different capacities, different sizes, and the reason I picked this one is because it's black. There's no logo here. No one needs to know that this is a for essential oils. No. This is for paints. This is for awesome people who do painting of little miniatures and then fight each other like plastic Pokemon. So it's much easier. In fact, I actually, for those paints that I'm using, you'll notice there's a bunch of spots missing. I did about a little organizer for my work area. So between these two things, this container for my paints and my organizer on my painting space, I think I'm set for organization. I no longer have to pull out my hair as I'm using these paints, and I can put them away when I want to take a break, and that's important too. And so now this big box, I didn't throw it out because I needed a space to put all of those sprues, all those extra plastic bits, and miscellaneous tools. So they now live in here. I'll keep that for a little while.